somebody said to me yesterday in a Qigong class, how much do you have to sit down in the Qigong class, in the Qigong? Okay, so we're going to take a look at that today because it's not what I planned, but I'm going to look at it anyway. So here we go, because it's a very good question. How much should you actually sit down? Right, so yeah, yeah, hi Jeff. Okay, so really, you can sit down any amount you like as long as you do one thing. And it doesn't matter. So if you look at, if you go onto Google and, or your search engine, whatever it happens to be, and you type in either Zhan Zhuang or standing Qigong or something, you will see people apparently not bending their legs at all. You know, I'm talking about old photographs from of the Chinese masters, you know, particularly if you type in old photos of people doing standing Qigong or something like that, you'll get people who appear to have straight legs. Yeah, so they don't. Well, they do, but they don't. You'll see. So comfortable with. It's really simple to tell you this. I mean, it's a really simple bit of info. But all you do is, if you're, let's say we're starting from down by your side, okay, and you're going to lift your hands up, and you're not going to bend your knees. Just do it. Just go up to here, and you're not going to bend your knees. You're going to just lift up. Right. Okay. Now, I don't know how sensitive you are to be able to feel this, but if you just lift your arms up, actually your lower back takes a little bit of strain here. It's tiny, it's really small because, you know, we've got strong muscles here and strong deltoid muscles. So lifting up actually doesn't cause as much problem unless you've got an injury, in which case then it starts to just hurt there. So but what takes place is that all the time in your body is performing a balancing act internally. Everything you do, the body naturally performs a balancing act. Even my hands bouncing around here, my body is performing an internal balancing act to counter what I'm doing. Especially if I do this, I've just done something else in the body. Because I've gone forwards, I've done something going backwards. I don't notice it unless I want to notice it, in which case I can spot it. So if I do that, I now feel my back coming into play immediately. It's like something happened there. Yeah. And you don't have to be too precise as to what happened, but it's good to understand the principle behind what goes on. So when you lift your arms up here, your back is actually involved. It starts to become involved, right? So what we do is see if you can keep your body weight. What I'd like you to just try and feel, and you may have been trying it while I'm talking, blabbering on here, but when you lift your arms up, even if I take my weight backwards slightly to counter my arms lifting, see if you can feel with something taking place in your back without trying to make something happen, if possible. Just see if you can feel a reaction going on your back. So when I do this, I can definitely feel something taking place in my lumbars and wanting to take place in my pelvis, actually. So what happens is whenever you sit down, you bend your knees, don't you? Yeah, your knees have to bend. Okay, now the process of sitting down, the process of making your knees bend is a pelvic tilt, except you do not have to do much of a pelvic tilt. So we have done this in the past before without even bending your knees slightly. Leave your hands out of it, we don't want them. I want you to try lifting the pubic bone up towards your tummy button. Make the pubic bone lift to here and relax your bum muscles as you do that, but do not bend your knees. So you just pull the pubic bone up. Yeah, just a tiny bit, doesn't have to be very much. Don't have to overwork it here, it shouldn't be over tense. If you go to Pilates, you'll hear them talking about zipping up here. It's the same idea. It's not an expression that works for me, but maybe it does for you. So it's like you just pull up very gently, and I guess they're referring to the actual puller on the zip. So you feel like you're gently pulling up at the front. Right, now we haven't bent the knees, but we have initiated a pelvic tilt. And the only reason the knees would now bend is because you do more of a pelvic tilt. You pull up even more on your zipper or whatever you want to call it. So let's just do this in two stages. No knee bending first, right? Relax, zero, neutral. Okay, pull up a little bit there, gently to the front, no knee bending. Can you feel your pelvis dropping at the back, tucking under? And now, to make the knees bend, what you need to do is pull up even harder, really pull up more at the front. But make absolutely sure that you've relaxed your bum muscles. Yeah, the muscles here on the glute. Yeah, so these are your gluteus muscles here. 3 sets of them. And so we're going to do that again. You're zero. You do a little bit of pelvic tilt without the knees bending. And now you do more tilt with the knees bending. Okay, now if I want to go lower, I'm just going to keep on bending my knees and go to wherever I want to go. When you do Zhan Zhuang, standing Qigong, that's what you need to do. And therefore, how much do you want to sit down? It's entirely up to you. You know, but whatever you do a pelvic tilt, even if your knees aren't going to go bending. So we're going to do standing Qigong without the knees bent, but with the pelvic tilt. So off you go. Engage here, lift zips up. Okay, and as it zips up, your pelvis is dropping under, but your knees haven't bent. This is fine. Let's say you want to go a bit lower now. You're going to lift up even more at the front, so your knees begin to bend a little bit. That's enough? Okay, let's go a bit lower. Zip up even more and make your knees bend even more. It's all being controlled from here, and then undo. So when we do this online and on the camera here, you can do it however much you like. It's a good idea if you want to strengthen your legs to go lower, but you will still get a very good effect from just doing the pelvic tilt here and lifting the arms up. So our aim, one of the aims in Zhan Zhuang, is to strengthen the legs partly, but really what you're doing is working on getting the body in good balance. So here we go. Position 1, Wuji position, nothing takes place. Okay, you're just upright, crown, perineum between the feet. Okay, we're going to go to the second position, sorry, which is up at heart height. So engage. Do you want to bend your knees or not? I'm going to a little bit. I'm engaging a little bit more so my knees bend. I've used this to lift my hands up. Okay, there is more to it than just that, but for the moment, this is good enough. Now, you keep it engaged. So this is position 2. We're going to go into position 3. Now, my personal preference is higher than my eyes, but the minimum is the eye height. So if I just do it first before you do, I'm going to rotate the hands, and though that would be to where maybe some of you are going, it's a roughly speaking the eye height there, but I prefer up there. So here we go. I'm going to go from here. And I engage more in my lower back. Doesn't mean to say that I have to bend my knees more, although I can if I want. And again, getting from position 2 to 3, there's a little bit more to it. Okay, we're going to go to position 4. Okay, so you push the hands out sideways briefly for a second. That kind of starts you off because you don't really want to go down here and just drop your elbows. These need to go outwards. And then you make sure that this engages with the elbow. So you need to pull in a little bit more and engage with the elbows. It feels like that pulling in is pulling your elbows in. It's all coming from here now. Notice my hands are still higher than my wrists, my elbows, but in a minute, when I finish this off, the wrists will now be below the elbow height. Okay, I'm at about 45 degrees, maybe not, maybe that would be more like 45. I've gone a little bit further sideways. As long as I feel as though the elbow has connected to my hip bone, it's going to be okay. Now, this hand is on an aerobics ball, so is this. They're both lying on aerobics balls. Aerobics balls, as you know, have a tendency to roll away from you, so the feeling is that's happening. But I don't do that. But it feels like my hands are wanting to roll outwards. Now, stay there a second. This is all to do with the feeling of rolling outwards is all to do with the extension of the joints. From here and on your back, it's all to do with that extension of the joints. So when you're there and you feel like the arms are rolling out, really what you're feeling is all the joints are opening out. Okay? And now, let the hands point downwards, relax the wrists so the fingers point downwards, and now lead the fingers inwards. You hardly have to move your elbows at all and come into the fifth position, which would be here. And then just stand up. So it's a very brief run through of the positions, but looking at certain ways as to certain other bits you're going to connect in the body. If you then want to finish off, then and you've done it for much longer than we've done, then it's put your weight on one foot, lift up the knee, and then point the toe to the floor so that that action happens, and then put down. Yeah, lift up, point, and down. So what we're aiming to do really is stretch this bit of the foot out, because the leg out, because if you've been sitting down here for half an hour, this is going to need just opening out a little bit. Yeah, this will have built up some lactic acid in it. You'll need to just stretch it out a little bit and get it moving out on again. But you will also find that the more you practice and do this, the less you need to do that, the less than you do that foot circling. Right, now